And I do believe that we are back for part 2, guys. What a mess. Down for 10 minutes, at least. Down for about 10 minutes. We're back. It is, this is the Hake Report. Let me just see if I'm back on the same Rumble feed. Indeed. What's up, Rumble people? Everything went down. That was rough. I lost my guest, Kaz. He may be back. He may not be. He didn't have the full 2 hours, okay? So, what's up, everybody? I don't know if you guys see me at this point, but I am back live. It is, it's 10:07 a.m. here in Los Angeles, and our stream dropped. Everything dropped. My calls dropped. The whole world dropped. What in the world? How did this happen? So this is part 2, guys, and Kaz is indeed here. Kaz, thanks for hanging out for these 10 minutes while we got our internet back together. I don't know what happened there. So let's finish your story about the situation with the burn victims. I mean, the burn pit. Burn pits.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I did. He was talking about that in the fundraiser. That is something he was trying to apply for to get the burn pit victim. Status, and he was having a lot of trouble with that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But the fundraiser itself was just for him specifically because he was going through a tough time, and I was just trying to help my friend out. But I might do that at some point. I really am not keen on doing fundraisers too much at this point. Yeah. It was not a good experience for me, but I'm glad that I was able to help my friend out.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it is rough. I think that's more for people who have a lot of extra time and a lot of money to begin with, and a lot of notoriety, maybe. So we're back. Daniel, my caller, who was calling about it, has dropped. But I would like to get to a call here before I have to wrap up with you. I know that we have just
whatever you need, man.
Just maybe 20 more minutes here. So let me get to Mark in Los Angeles. I definitely wanted to get to Mark in Los Angeles. He wanted to talk about the black crime. Mark in Los Angeles, you're live with Kaz of Atheist Edge. Hey.
Hello, Kaz.
Hey, Mark.
I'll just make it as quick as I can. Crime in America was virtually unheard of until slavery ended. Crime in the black community was about the same as it was with the white community until the civil rights movement of the 60s. Then it exploded after the civil rights movement, and it's only gotten worse since George Floyd was brought to justice by the police. So regardless of as far as the stats are concerned, you cannot trust the FBI or the DOJ. They've got it in for the white man. They're going to pad the stats to make it look as if blacks aren't committing the number of crimes that they're committing, and they're going to make it as big as they can on white-collar crimes. One thing I read yesterday about white-collar criminals, the average profile of a white-collar criminal is a nonviolent offender, usually a first offender, a married man, and a working man. Compare that to a black violent felon. Who would you rather have in your neighborhood? Okay, so please answer about the slavery issue, how crime didn't really come into being in this country. The last time the streets of America were truly safe was when we had slavery and segregation.
So just because there were no police, there was no crime?
No, because we had blacks under control as slaves, there was no crime.
So you're saying there was no crime? White people did not murder each other at all?
No, I didn't say there was no crime, but there was very
some
little crime as compared to today. Now, there's white criminals.
So how do you know that there's so little crime? How do you know that there's so little crime?
What, back in the Civil War days?
How do you know that that's true?
Days? Just check the stats. America was at its
I'm going to do it right now. Hold on.
America was at its safest under slavery as far as crime in the streets.
Before the Civil War.
I think we have two completely different worlds, though. it was a hard life back then, and theft of a cow could mean death for the family, and so they had harsh penalties for theft and rape and and murder, definitely. And then nowadays everybody's spoiled. Everybody has extra to waste. People don't even take it seriously if you steal out of a store, and so we have like a soft on.
Well, that's one of the points I'm trying to make is black crime is underreported. These people.
But my point is that we don't live in as desperate of times, and the people are just more spoiled now, and so the crime doesn't hurt as much.
Well, I don't know about that. I know that when slavery ended and the construction started, the end of nearly, I won't say 100%, nearly crime-free America turned into something uglier than that. And then when we got to segregation, the black crime rate was probably about equal to the white until the 60s.
What did you find,
So this is a conclusion from a paper, Has Crime Increased in the United States, by Charles L. Wood in 1910, okay? In 1910, he wrote that we must conclude, therefore, the serious crime increased out of proportion to the population in the United States from 1880 to 1904, but that apparently this increase took place mainly between the years of 1880 and 1895. We are not warranted in concluding that there has been no increase in 1895 on account of the increasing use of probation and parole, and on account of increasing leniency and possibility of increasing inefficiency in our criminal law and our criminal courts as instruments for the repression and cure of crime. Perhaps even more, we must conclude that this study, that our statistics of crime are utterly inadequate for scientific purposes, and that a first step in the study of crime in this country should be to secure the collection of more adequate statistics, either by Census Bureau or by Department of Justice.
Okay,
hard to know.
We are not warranted in concluding anything on a scientific basis based on the crime statistics of the past.
What, because of what you just read? All you got to do is look at history. The Reconstruction.
Just look at history. What does that mean to just look at history? So you want me to read every history book that's ever been written? Do you want me to talk to every historian? What does that mean to look at history? People say that a lot, but it means nothing. It is the most vacuous thing I've ever heard. Just look at it, man. Street
in America in 1860. Okay, it's not the case today. Furthermore, under segregation, the black crime rate was about equal to the white crime rate, I would guess. I don't know. I didn't check it. That's a guess, but I lived through it. And I can tell you, after the Civil Rights Bill passed and blacks had access to integration, the crime rate skyrocketed.
That coincided with a whole lot of things too. The free sex, the marriages and families started falling apart throughout those decades, and all kinds of stuff. But you're right, the civil rights movement increased the anger and resentment between the races.
Yeah, it was all about revenge. It's all about revenge. Listen, the only thing they were free to do after the Civil Rights Bill passed was to commit crimes more openly against whites and get away with it. They integrated everything, and look at where we're at today. And furthermore, as far as the interracial marriage thing, it should have been banned. Because no country on the face of the earth has ever succeeded with a mixed race society. Look at Haiti.
Except America, right?
Look at any country in the world.
Except America, the most successful country.
Civilization failed.
The most successful country. You don't even know. Man, are you kidding me? So all that stuff about America being exceptional is all BS to you. You would rather live in Russia or China.
No, not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
You are a communist. On the moon. Basically, what you're saying.
Despite your presence
you're a communist.
Here, we were still able to accomplish things like putting a man on the moon.
Despite your presence because black people haven't done anything for this country whatsoever.
Wait a minute. Does any African country
How many things
have a
in your
program?
House right now have been contributed by black people?
You
have no idea.
And he's not going to let me get my points out.
I've heard you plenty, dude. It's just you've been talking for like 30 minutes.
That has a space program, okay? Because we're the advanced race. There's a race problem in America. There's not a race problem in America. There's a problem race. And I think you know that. You just want to hide behind a bunch
there's people
of
like
nonsense.
you who are racists who will make this world horrible.
People like me.
You're right.
I'm not committing
You
crime.
are the problem of America.
I'm not a criminal.
If it wasn't for people like you, there'd be no Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, people like me. Okay, people
be
like
no Black
me,
Lives
what's that
Matter.
mean?
There would be no Kamala
Pardon?
Harris running for president if it wasn't for you. Thank you. You make it
no,
necessary.
Kamala Harris
There would be
is
no
evil.
DEI. There would be no
Good.
affirmative action. None of
That's
that crap would
right.
exist if it wasn't for
That's
people
right.
like you.
That's right. You got it. Right on the money.
Yeah,
Right on the money.
racists. Bye.
Well, that's all you got is that word. You take that out of your vocabulary, and you've got nothing, buddy.
Are you going to tone police me anymore? Do you have any more? You want to tell me how to talk? Communist? Thank you.
I never called you a commie. Maybe that's
No, I'm calling you a communist because you want to control my life and be an authoritarian.
I'm not a communist. I'm anti-communist.
Yeah, you want everybody to be the same, dude. You want everybody to have equal skin color. What the hell, man? You're the communist, not me.
No, well, you better read your Constitution. This country was founded by white
You've
men.
never read the
for
Constitution
white
a day
men.
in your life. Don't even. You know the Bill of
more
Rights
than
from
you'll
elementary
ever
school,
know.
and that's about it. You haven't gone through it.
You see how ignorant this guest you have is, Hake? He's prejudging me on my education. He can't respond to the criticism.
It's not a prejudge because you've been talking for a long time now, and it's clear that you don't know anything what you're talking about. You
I know
are
exactly
obviously
what
somebody who
I'm talking
regurgitates talking points from your rags that you love so much.
I appreciate it.
It's not a prejudge, it's a post judgment. You've been talking. Thank you very much, sir. Do you know what pre versus post means? Thank you.
This guy's a nobody. Hake, where'd you find this rat?
He's been a moderator on Modern Day Debate. Did a great job.
I'm a nobody. Thank you. You're so hurting my feelings right now. Oh, you're a mature adult man, right? You're a real man, right? He's a nobody. Oh, I'm a big guy.
Are you? You think you're helping right now, Mark? Though, you think you're helping the situation?
No,
you want to call me you want to call me some names? What else do you want to say about me?
No, I haven't called you any names, but I can tell you I'm
a nobody.
Exposing the situation. Okay, he wants to talk about
you're a racist,
how
dude.
black crime and the bad
You're a racist.
cops.
That's
He's for Kamala Harris. Hake. What more do I need to say?
I don't know that he said
the way you keep going, dude. He's going to be voting for Kamala Harris too. You keep going up, dude.
No, I just about that
because he's going to realize he's on the wrong side. You keep it up. You keep it up.
No, you're on the wrong side.
Okay.
Like I said, every country that has had race mixing has failed. That's why our founding fathers had miscegenation laws.
You see what you're acting here, man. This is the crap that you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with this crap on your own when we're gone. Okay?
What do you mean by that?
They come after you for having dark hair or not blue eyes or whatever it is that they want to pick at next is going to be you.
Now, just everybody in the audience, think about America in the 50s when it was segregated and safe. And think about how things are today with integration and diversity. It's poison. It's like poison in the American bloodline. And that's why our founding fathers stopped race mixing. And they had miscegenation laws to stop race mixing because they knew it would lead to our destruction.
That's right. Mark from Los Angeles hates two things. He hates communists and race mixing. And why are you so vicious against the race mixing thing? I mean, I get that it's not good to be promoting it as good over just people staying to their own. That's tradition. And what's wrong with tradition?
He wants humans to fight each other forever. He wants us to always hate each other.
Under segregation, I get that it adds to the temptation. All this diversity stuff, it adds to the suspicions. People are naturally suspicious of each other, regardless of race. And then when you add the race differences, it's like, oh, he's treating me this way because I'm a different race. I get that. I get that. I'm with you on that.
Okay, the people that think black people are just white people with dark skin are fools. The skin is the only most obvious difference. The brain size, the hair texture, the nose. The whole difference in races is not just skin color.
Thank you, Mark in Los Angeles. I got to keep it moving because I only have 10 minutes left or less with Kaz here. But I appreciate your comment. You too. Take care. Let's get to...
He felt safe in the 50s. The truth is, for everybody else, it was a horrible nightmare in the 50s.
You think so?
White people were safe. Sure. All the white people were safe in the 50s because we had control and we could just keep those black people down.
But I don't think that it was like
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations that you felt safe because you were oppressing people. Congratulations. Is that good for you? God, cowardice, man. The cowardice of this people, man, to just always want safety. Like, the right thing doesn't matter. Fuck safety, bro.
The issue with the 50s was...
My name's on the internet. I'm putting myself at risk, right? People dox people. People come after people all the time. I'm not worried about safety because I care about the right thing, okay? If somebody wants to come at me, I can handle that. But I will not handle the world that my kids have to grow up in, where people like that are in charge, where you want to just look at somebody and just as soon as you see them, you think you know something.
In the 50s, though, you have to admit that the black families were more together. I know that in the 1965, they were saying, oh, black families were at a crisis point at 25% out of wedlock birth rate. And the crime and the drugs and all that stuff and the free sex was going more and more out of control. But I don't think that it was this problem in the 50s like has been portrayed. This civil rights stuff, I don't think it was good. I think it increased problems rather than solving problems.
Look, here's how it works, man. You have a problem, people come up with solutions. There's a pendulum swings, right?
Right.
And so over here, right now, we come up with a solution to swing it back. We push it all the way over there.
Yeah.
Right? Now we
and
see
it's way overcompensated.
So right now, you guys are here about to smack it back all the way over there again.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we should keep it.
Somebody's got to
cool
stop this. Somebody's got to stop this circle, this drain swirl to the bottom. Somebody's got to say, okay, we're going to stop slapping this pendulum back and forth. We're going to bring it to the right point.
Right.
We're going to have to do that at some point. So yes, should have we overreacted to the racial problems, to the gender problems in certain respects? In some ways, is affirmative action a perfect solution? No, right? But these issues, these solutions, they come from the fact that the pendulum's over here, right? It's not going to help to put it back over there. That's illogical. To put it back over there means there'll be more crazy solutions to smack it back over there again.
I know, but I'm just saying that the problems were overstated a lot of the times. There was a whole lot of propaganda back then, I bet. Just as there is today. I'm not being hype with you,
Jake. I'm being hype because I see now that the people that are listening, they need it broken down in this very simple kind of way, like pendulum there, blah, blah, blah. Because apparently you just can't think fourth dimensionally. Like it is what it is, and that's all I understand.
Let's get to Maze in Dayton, Ohio before we wrap up here. Appreciate you coming on, Kaz of Atheist Edge on YouTube and Instagram. And where else? Is there any place else that you want people to find you before I get back to Maze?
I'm on that's fine.
YouTube and IG.
YouTube, IG.
Oh yeah, Twitter,
Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, all that.
Oh, right on.
All the good stuff.
Maze in Dayton, Ohio, from the sundown town. My favorite caller, Maze. How you doing?
Hello, James.
You're live
Happy
with.
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Right on.
And to Mark, tell him he can blame his founding fathers for the mixed race. Because you can look at Robert E. Lee, Thomas Jefferson, all of those that mixed race before and when he was talking about in whatever year, tell him to blame them for that. Because the races weren't mixing until they went and mixed and raped and did all this stuff to the black woman, and he don't never say anything about it. But that's not my point.
Thank you. That's something I didn't even think about. Thank you so much for that. Exactly.
So my point
we are not the ones who did the race mixing. It was your ancestors who brought our grandmothers to this country and raped them over and over again.
It wasn't always rape.
This mixed race.
I think that there was just naturally like the Irish like to mix with people. The Irish are more commonly Irish and Italian mix with people. I think it's just
regular. I'm not talking about. It's getting too.
You rambling off because you were part of it, and you want to talk about the black community with your Caucasian media every day,
Lord.
every hour. Showing black people, and you talk about Black Lives Matter, but you will not talk about January 6th for those criminals that went up there to tear that place up.
I talk about January 6th a lot.
You don't even look at it as it was a crime. And then when you showed
some
the
of it
picture of the
wasn't
lady being shot by the cop, you thought you were showing it because you act like you liked it.
No, you're talking about Sandra Massey, the hot.
Come on, man.
You do not black cops going around.
I did not
like.
Okay, well, here's my position on the Sandra Massey thing.
You having your White History Month, so I was not going to be involved with it. I let y'all enjoy yourself.
Oh, you didn't call during White History Month, Maze?
What?
You didn't call us during White History Month?
Oh, you just so lost you don't remember me not calling?
I didn't.
That's what's wrong with Mark, and I'm gonna tell Mark. Mm-hmm. He cannot stand on this planet by himself as a Caucasian man. Because if nobody do business with him, what would he do? Starve to death. That's what would happen to him. And when it comes to Kamala and Joe Brown, that mess that Joe Brown put out, ain't nobody trying to listen to that. Ain't nobody following it.
Yeah, I don't. I like whatever that guy's name is, but I don't really take stock. Sometimes he's overboard in my taste.
And it go like this: I'd rather have an America than have somebody from Project 25 to take my rights away and everything else, so they can have the things that they want. That's why I would be voting for Kamala and not the man that y'all want. Because I'm giving the country away. Y'all already gave most of it away anyway.
Okay.
And
Let's
the laws
get
that's in this country don't need to be changed. They need to be made better. And then you're talking about crime. Look at the people that are keeping up with the crime statistics and go look in the prison and see how many people look like you in there. That's where the numbers are. But then you don't know the crime that they committed, but they send up in the prison. And people can see. And people know people that run prisons. So when y'all get to talking about y'all numbers and who's stealing and who's doing this, take a look at your people sometime, because when it comes to the opioid epidemic, you're not trying to do anything to save that. And the crack was put into the black community.
They're being mama about it. They went from being manly with
something about it.
The problem with the crack versus opioids thing is back in the 90s, we had a semblance of manliness. We were tough on crime. Nowadays, we're soft on these poor victim drug addicts. I say we throw them in prison.
Look at the system in that way, because if they go to jail, it'll be full of.
You're not a Christian, right? Hake?
I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
You are?
Yeah, right. Christian and what?
Why do you say that?
Right.
Oh, because
let's do a Bible study. Let's you and me do a Bible study.
Yeah, we'll do it. By the way, I'm going to be on Kaz's show. Maybe August 16th. Was that Sunday, August 16th?
Like you to have somebody like Mark.
18th.
He's stuck in wanting to be a white ruler. It will never happen and never will be. So he can forget about that. So where his rule is over.
Okay, you said a lot, man.
Together, don't know how to rule at all. That's just the way it goes.
You've rattled off your points on many topics. I couldn't totally keep up because I wanted to answer others.
You heard what I said. You sound like Trump now.
Okay, all right.
Use your brain, and I hear.
Well, you see why she's my favorite caller, Kaz.
Kaz of Atheist Edge. He always talk about what is that character he talks about? He's in your brain. So.
Yeah.
That's what I've been listening to, y'all. What he say, y'all say. What he do, y'all try to do.
Maze,
so y'all stop hating Kamala, because she's not going to hurt the country.
Yeah,
she's going to make it better.
She's not going to make it better? Go ahead.
I'm not a big fan of Kamala. I wasn't going to vote for her.
Committed treason, and you don't even want them to go to jail for doing it.
Hold on, Maze.
It was for a picnic.
Let's get Kaz's take.
I just want to say, when it comes to the Democrats as a party and how they represent me as the left is not necessarily the case at all, right? And I'm not going to sit here and preach to the high heavens how Kamala Harris is going to save America or anything like that, because she's still part of the Democratic establishment. She's still going to engage in these forever wars. I mean, Obama did the same thing.
Yeah,
there's going to be blood on our hands because of this, right? But the only reason why there's a lot of the Trump things that I don't like about him that wouldn't necessarily stop me from voting for him. The main reason for me is I want to preserve democracy and the representative republic that we have here. I don't think that I am sure that Trump and his followers would sell out every ounce of our democracy, of our people's power, just to get their agenda accomplished, to stick it to the left, so to speak, right? And that's not something I'm willing to do, to stick it to them, and they shouldn't be willing to do it to us. We need to preserve the democratic process as much as we can, no matter what. And for him to say he'd be a dictator, for him to threaten to throw reporters in jail, there's just so many things, right? All the things that he has done to degrade the Constitution and his people, the January 6th being a prime example, right, of how supporters of him being willing to just say, we don't care what the vote says. We are sure that we won. We're taking this. Right, that's going to spell the end of America. I don't want America to end, because I really do love this country. I love the Constitution, and I do believe that this is the best hope that the world has for any kind of model of a good government, of a government that could actually serve the interests of the people. This is the best hope we have so far. That's my opinion. I do love this country, and that's why I don't want Trump to win. Now, if he wasn't like that, it might be a different story. I'm not here to say the Democrats are your hope, right? They're just they're not the threat at this point in time to the democracy itself. They are threats in other ways, but just not that particular point. And that, I think, is the most important thing. Freedom, democracy, that's what I care about.
I think if you keep your eyes on Trump going forward and watch with an objective eye how he presents himself and how he handles things going forward, whatever you think of him right now, I think you may come around, man,
No,
because
no,
I think you have it. I personally think you have it backwards, but definitely there's evil and anger on the side of the pro-Trump side.
Did you see them selling the King Trump T-shirts?
He wasn't serious about. He's talking about being a dictator, kind of tongue in cheek.
That's the thing. It doesn't have to be him. It doesn't have to be him. It could be his supporters. If the masses of his supporters are on that page, then that's what it's going to be, right? If they want a king, and they're the majority, we'll end up with a king, man.
Yeah, but Trump is not like that.
He'll take it, though.
He did everything to release government power, to deregulate, to weaken the government and strengthen the people to run their own businesses, make more of their own money. No tax on your tips, stuff like that. I think he's more for the country than you're giving him proper credit for, in my opinion.
He's for the economics of the country. I would say that.
And that's the best thing for unity and peace between the people.
It's a good thing, but it's not the number one thing, in my opinion. And the economics is a good thing,
and he's
but it's not the most important thing.
And it's funny because he's the law and order candidate. He wanted the January 6ers to be peaceful. He's like, we have to have peace. But they cast it in another way. And some of his supporters were angry and went overboard. A lot of them were rough around the edges people who had problems in the past and assaulted police officers. And those, I think he agrees, should suffer for what they did. Should be properly punished for what they did, but it's disproportionate.
I'll give you that. I'll say that you're right about that, and that's part of the problem because he wanted it to be peaceful, and it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah,
and that's what's wrong.
That is a problem.
The whole MAGA movement right there. It's not the whole.
It's not the whole.
He can't even control it.
Yeah, fair enough. Interesting. It is. There is a lot of evil and anger on many sides, as Trump said after Charlottesville. You remember that riot, August of 2017, the white supremacists, so-called, versus the Antifa Black Lives Matter. The young lady got run over by a car or something. He said there was violence on many sides, and there is. And there's a lack of honesty about the violence from the left. But there's definitely violence on the right, and it's not right. It's not good. There is violence on the left. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. We're past the top.
Let me just say, there is violence on the left, right? And we need to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time, right?
Yeah.
We need to be able to call out our own side and the other side. We need to just aim for the truth, for what is actually correct. It doesn't matter if it promotes my side or your side, if it's the truth, right? So when Black Lives Matter protesters are rioting, when they're becoming rioters, I should say, right? When they're saying kill cops or hating white people, or any of those things, that's evil too, right? And that needs to be spoken out against. And people on the left, for some reason, all of us do this where we're so scared to say anything about our own side because we know that our side is the ones that are supporting us, right? So there's this whole dynamic that we need to try to overcome. So let's just you and me do that together here and now.
Yeah. We're past the bottom of the hour, and I know you only had time for really like an hour and a half, so I appreciate you coming on, man. Any last words for wrapping things up? How can people find you? How can people catch our discussion upcoming on the 18th of August?
So we'll be live on the 18th at I think it was 6:30 p.m.
Yeah, I believe so. 6:30 Central time, 4:30, I believe.
We'll probably be continuing this conversation to some extent. And you can find me at Atheist Edge on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. That's pretty much where I'm usually at. Please send me an email if you want to have a conversation or a debate. I would love to have that with anybody at any time. Even Mark, we can have a conversation if he wants. We can probably do that a little bit more formally, I'd say. I'd like to really tackle what he has to say, and deep dive into everything he wants to say. So, Mark, if you want to send me an email, I would like for you to lay out your arguments in an essay form. Just write to me what you want to say to me, and let me deal with that for a minute, and then we'll have a conversation about that live if you'd like to do that, or anybody else, right? So
that'd be awesome.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Kaz of Atheist Edge, for coming on the show. How do they find your email? Would it be through your YouTube account?
It's atheistedge@gmail.com.
atheistedge@gmail.com, guys. Don't harass them. Only real inquiries, please. All right. Thanks again, Kaz of Atheist Edge. Fun having you on, and we'll have you back. And I'll talk to you
for having me.
A couple
weeks.
I
appreciate you being willing to have these conversations.
Definitely. All right, guys. Let's get back into calls here. You can just hang up because I'm such a boomer. I don't know how to end this, Kaz.
Okay, I'll leave it.
But
All right, bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Guys, I have a bunch of super chats to get to and your calls. There is no Joel Friday today. He's only live Monday through Thursday. So, but do catch Joel Friday as well, Monday through Thursday. Nick, the American Anchor Baby, is happening at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And the Fallen State, is the Fallen State ready? I should set that up if I can. In the meantime, let me get to Jaime in Minnesota on the line here. Jaime, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to you during Kaz of Atheist Edge, but what's up, man? How you doing?
It's cool. Hey, what a great conversation.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy to talk to. Go ahead.
I might have to take him up on his email.
Right on.
Thing. But somebody should get him a wham burger and some French fries.
You're calling him a crybaby?
Yeah.
Why?
He's a little crybaby, kind of. Just a little bit. Well, a lot of it.
How so?
He's very emotional, man. Was he saying, like in the beginning I caught about homosexuality? What was his stance on that?
I don't remember. I don't remember him talking. I remember me talking about homosexuality, but I don't remember him talking about it.
Okay. Well, anyway, society, you see, is a great big mess today. And it's because of different ideas, the mind virus, you know? And people think that they get these freedoms. They don't know what freedom really means. Freedom isn't, you know, the ability to do whatever you want whenever you want, like kill the baby in the womb or have homosexual marriages or, you know, things like that, or doing transgender stuff. That's not freedom. That's perversion. And it doesn't take a religious ideology to see what perversion is. You can see it in even an atheist way. If a man is honest about it, honest with himself.
Yeah. I kind of agree. It's kind of like the so-called freedom to smoke pot.
Right? Yes.
Or, you know, drink or whatever. That leads you into more dependency on some level. Dependency for escape or dependency in terms of the government because you're a bum or whatever.
Well, and I'm glad that you brought that up because we don't know what his stance is on homosexuality, but he did mention his stance on drugs, right? He thought it was...
Yeah, he's more of like a libertarian, I guess, perhaps.
Okay, so in Vancouver, or not Vancouver, but in Canada, there's some areas where drugs are legal. Everything, all of it, right? You've heard of this.
Oh, okay, Canada, yep.
And there's bums all over the place.
Yeah.
People sticking needles out in the middle of the street. Now, it doesn't take a religious person to see that that's bad.
Yeah.
That freedom, which isn't really a freedom, it's degeneracy.
Right.
You can't call degeneracy freedom.
Are you really free if you need that escape? Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. It's killing them. It's killing the society. It's killing the economy. It's killing everything.
Yeah.
It's bad. And a person's whatever... It doesn't take a religious person to see that this is all a mess.
True.
And it doesn't take a religious person to see that there's something very wrong with the black community. And they're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You can see that and be an atheist. So, but if you're honest with yourself, and I don't think this guy's honest with himself.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I mean, he is an atheist, so there's a disconnect, I say.
Right, and you can look at reality with coffee. Coffee isn't illegal because for the average consumer, for the great majority of consumers, it has zero side effects. 1 out of 1 million people will get a heart attack from it, maybe. maybe not even that. Okay,
Yeah.
those are really good odds. That means it's legal. You can have it. Marijuana will get any person high, and I mean we see it with the THC, the oils. That woman that stabbed her boyfriend 150 times after vaping some marijuana stuff said that she went through a cannabis psychosis.
Uh-huh.
If that happens I think that's happened twice, at least that I've heard. That's dangerous. That's illegal. It should be illegal. It's not about it. It makes my uncle, chill out at the end of a hard work day, which is fine, whatever. But for the most of people, it causes them to have, bad side effects.
Yeah.
Same with crack cocaine. Crack cocaine. Have you ever tried crack?
Of course not. The heck?
I hear it's a hell of a drug. Okay?
Yeah.
So, but it's extremely dangerous for most people. That's why it's illegal.
Right.
And that's reality. Now, homosexuality is bad. It doesn't create children. It creates more degeneracy.
Right.
It gives off more STDs, and it's bad.
Right. I'm with you. It makes you're
you
making a lot of sense. This libertarian
guy-
stuff is just closing your eyes and covering your ears and saying la la la. It's not hurting anybody, but it's not really manly thinking, because it is, on the whole, it's not a benefit.
And so the guy was saying about what is right, what is good. Well, what's good about two men or two
Of
women
course.
being together,
Yeah,
not
nothing.
making a baby,
Yeah.
not forwarding civilization? Because in reality, the whole idea of human existence is to have kids. It's you can see it in everything around you. The trees, they give off seeds.
Having
and it grows
kids
more
and
trees.
raising them well, raising them right.
Right, not to be a
Indeed.
homosexual.
Right.
And homosexual is a taught, learned behavior. It's not you come out of the womb that way.
What a mess. Jaime, I got to keep it moving. I appreciate
Cool,
your call,
man.
man. Take care.
Have a good weekend.
You as well. Bye. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Justin in California on the line here. Justin, how you doing, man? Thank you for calling and holding there. What's up?
Oh, thanks for taking my call.
Definitely.
Hake, appreciate it.
Fun
I was
hearing
just
from
going to be brief. I just thought that I mentioned, from my understanding, where the Bible is, speaking, we're supposed to be silent. So I don't know where it's at, but somewhere in the Bible it says, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. I
Yep.
heard your conversation about the last caller that was commenting. It's kind of true and not true to say that something is that people are dependent. I don't think anyone is dependent. Number one, though, I understand where maybe he's coming from, but no one's dependent on anything except air, water, and food, because that's what God
I
says
use
he
the word
provides us.
I would use the word dependent for
Okay.
escape, for comfort, but he used the word free. He said, "Are you really free? Is that real freedom if you have the so-called freedom to do that?" It's a misuse of the term freedom, because freedom is
Right.
freedom from those vices, not freedom to do those vices necessarily. That's what spiritual freedom
Right.
is anyway.
And if we're supposed to be holy, or if we're supposed to be pure, like our Heavenly Father is, then and if our body is supposed to be a temple, then that's what says in the Bible for us to live our lives, if we believe that. And I think that things are beneficial, like the Bible says. Not all things are beneficial, but everything is permissible. You've been given permission to sin, essentially.
Uh-huh.
You're not supposed to use freedoms that that to your own detriment or to your neighbor's detriment to do. And and then one more thing, last thing, I don't think that psychosis thing is correct, that this individual can get off by being crazy because she did some oil or some vape or whatever, because that's been done by a lot of people that it doesn't happen to. And if it's something that person has a problem, it was already an issue that just never got addressed. But for violence, you can't just say someone's crazy and then they get off.
Right.
But
And
sometimes
even when you plead that way, that just means that you go into the crazy house, well, not the crazy house, but the mental health place, and it's hell there. You don't want to be there. You're with a bunch of people that are in hell, in their own hells in their minds, and it's really no it's no escape from prison.
Yeah,
What a mess.
so there is no freedom in that. People think they're free because they have permission to do it, and they find out later that they have a hell to live with. You know, the repercussions when they wake up from whatever their psychosis was. I believe people are just taken over by a spirit of evil that lives in this earth, and that's what I think it exists.
Right.
Not so much drugs that demons are drugs. No, it's the demons that are tempting you to do those things, like crack, which whatever that caller was saying. I don't know what that's like, but
Yeah, me either.
hell of a drug. But anyway, have a good rest of your day, James.
Appreciate you. Happy Men's History Month to you.
Happy Men's History Month to you as well.
All right, take care. Oh, he got me with the click. Oh, super chats, guys. Before I get back to calls, I mean, we'll see what I get to. Thankfully, no, unfortunately, I'll say, there is no Joel Friday TV, but thankfully that gives me extra time in these last closing minutes of the Hake Report. Got 12 minutes left. Over on buymeacoffee.com, I didn't get to Carver's coffee yesterday, who said, "Hey, Hake, I know we have important stories like Ellen DeGeneres, Caitlin Clark, and Trayvon Martin to get to, but this Sonya thing, Sandra Massey, the hot water with the pot of water lady, is pretty interesting. I'm going to go play armchair lawyer for the cop here and share a perspective that I haven't really heard anyone else saying. So the cops get sent out to investigate a prowler. It's on the prowl. At some lady's house in the middle of the night. They arrive, no one answers the door for a long time. What's going through their heads? My guess would be the prowler got her. Has the homeowner tied up in the basement? And probably preparing her for some satanic organ harvesting voodoo ritual or similar torture, very common in Springfield, Illinois. I'm saying that. I'm adding that. He didn't write that. I don't know if it's common. I made that up. I'm kidding. But anyway, eventually a crackhead opens the door. Oh, you think so? He's saying that. That's not my words. I disavow it. I don't know what Sandra Massey's head state was like. I don't know if she's done any drugs ever in her life. Period. But Carver just, in his imagination about this situation, opens the door and acts like she has no idea what's going on. Yeah, I know, that was weird, right? Weird. Kind of like Trump and J.D. Vance weird. Because they call Trump and J.D. Vance weird. You do the math. Let's make sure this is actually the homeowner. Because female crackheads, if she is, we don't know. I don't know anyway. Carver may know something I don't, but I disavow it for the meantime. Can be prowlers too. Women can be prowlers too. Oh, she doesn't have ID? This is getting weird. Now she's getting up, grabbing boiling water, and now she's saying some weird religious stuff. Christian version of Allahu Akbar? Says Carver. They tell her to freeze. Instead of freezing, she makes a sudden move. Yeah, that was weird, huh? To boil it down, pun intended, Carver, you devil. This is not funny. This is too soon for me to be laughing about this situation. She could have been the prowler. They don't know. She don't have ID. Carver, but she was clearly in her own house, right? Seemed like it, because she was digging around in their stuff, and she's like, what's your name? Shouldn't have to think hard about your name. Massey. Thank you, Carver, for your coffee. Thought-provoking. It is fair because we don't know. They don't know. We don't know what they were going through in their minds. We don't know what she was really presenting because we weren't there. Although we're seeing video, we're seeing it from a very detached perspective that is not getting the full picture of the situation. You know, when the situation is enveloping you. Maybe we need an AI VR reenactment of... Never mind. Thank you, Carver. Appreciate that. Serge with a coffee the other day. Didn't get to it either. 5 coffees specifically. Thank you, Serge. Who says, Hake, I'm only giving a little bit because you white and it's hard on the white men nowadays. The lighter the skin, the work you gotta work. It's a play on words, he says. Blacker the skin, you harder the work. The harder you work. Or the more you hardly work. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm half kidding. 30% kidding. Laughing face with tears coming out. Thank you, Serge, for your 5 coffees. Very generous. Appreciate that. Ralph with 5 coffees as well. Hey, Ralph, thank you, man. He says, hey, Mr. Hake, happy Men's History Month. Indeed. Trump, a man. Kaz, a man. Mark, a man. Maze loves men and respects men because she's calling during Men's History Month. She skipped White History Month. Did you notice? I didn't notice, but she pointed it out. I enjoy your show and wish you well. Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate that, man. Nice name, too. That's a cool name, Ralph. The Z-Man, the Z1, gave a coffee writing, keeping it pithy, I tried. James, you are faking weak. That Nazi Mark. Oh, come on. Should be happy that your hatred for me was so strong that you did a jubilee in which he benefited. Yeah. That's not hatred for you, though. What the heck? The Constitution was made for white men. That boxer is similar to Jamie Lee Curtis. Should a trans man fight a man? No, a trans man should not fight. Should repent or something. Anyway, happy Men's History Month. Thank you. I celebrate myself as today's honoree. Does Kaz see you as a Christian with the values you have? He seems to question it. Thank you for your time. Hit. Oh. James and Hake. Trying to call me, hey, baby Hitler. Rest in peace if you are resting, Earl. We love you if we love anybody. Have the day you deserve. Oh, P.S. Postscript. Forgot to tell you. I wish you had more days like you did this past New Year's. That makes me smile. Oh, that my catalytic converter got stolen and my car wouldn't start. Dislike the video, says the Z1 with 3 coffees. Scary. Speaking of terrible, Terri with a coffee, playing around. I shouldn't even joke like that. Thank you, Terri, for the coffee. Cheer up and flip that octopus inside out, Hake. And I just might. I just listened to the woman, and I shall suffer. But she writes, she or he, because we don't know, right? Terri the strange one. I don't dox. Take back men's dominion over the earth by asserting your right to pick this Men's History Month commie fist emoji. No, this is a Trump fist emoji because she's a Trump supporter. Or he. Or it, if it's an AI. Because we don't know and we don't dox. Thanks, Terri. Appreciate that as always. All in good fun. Thank you very kindly. That's cool. Guys, we're nearing the end of the hour. I was hoping to get to Rick in Hampton, Virginia. We wanted to say more freedom, more problems. Kind of like more money, more problems. And William in California wanted to ask, what are you advocating for blacks? And I think that may have been a question for Kaz of Atheist Edge. Check out Kaz of Atheist Edge. Interesting guy. Interesting guy. He's actually quite objective when he's a moderator on modern day debate. That's how I know him. And then he would do after parties, after post-debate discussions and host me and other people, and we would talk about stuff. And he was pretty cool-headed and objective and just professional. And I like that. And, people cut people some slack. Okay, let me see. I really want to, it is Fun Friday, so let me see if I can find my favorite song. Because I got to wrap things up here. Lord have mercy. It was the first song that I played maybe ever. I don't know if I'm going to be able to recognize it. Chinese. Strong. Boom. Men. Nope. Man, I was thinking in my mind of what I wanted to play, and I'm running down on the wire. I wanted to play this, I'm getting off key here. A man should be strong, but unfortunately I don't have it. Lin Yan Chin loved the song, by the way. He used to play it all the time. But instead, I'm just going to have to play, I don't know. You guys who are, I don't know if I want to play that one. You guys who are angry, stop it. Or we who are angry, stop it. Stop it. Let's do mental destruction. That was fun. That could be fun. How about that we do that? Adios, America. The fallen state happened in an hour or so. And no, I don't have time for that. I have to end. I can't play mental destruction. Let's do Agnus Dei. Adios, America. Enjoy this. Oh, boy. Complicated business. Here it comes, guys. Bye, guys. Bye.
Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere
Lamb of God who takes away.
Peccata mundi, miserere nobis.
The sins of the world, have mercy on us.
Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi.
This is Psalters, Sepideh, Vahidi.
Dona nobis pace.
Give us peace. Lamb of God, give us peace. Adios, America. Joel Friday is not coming up next. The Fallen State at noon. American Anchor Baby after that. Take care, guys. Bye.